Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Even though this is one of my first videos. I'm currently trying to find where I'm going to begin filming all my videos, and for now, this is it. I'm at my desk in my office and I've got my favorite plant behind me, and he is on this very cute little pillar. But definitely not probably a forever situation. Definitely not a forever situation, which no biggie. We move. We're figuring out our angles. We're figuring out how this works. Anyways, this is the first week of January 2024, and I just wanted to make this video real fast before the end of the week. A lot of us right now are simply setting our intentions for the new year. We're creating vision boards if we haven't already, setting our goals, and maybe doing a little bit of the work. What I'd like to say though is that there's obviously so much more to it than that, and that's kind of what we're going to get into today. Just because you get up and you look at your vision board on your phone screen or your laptop screen or wherever you may place it, does not necessarily mean that those things come true. It definitely can. Sometimes random happens, and I'm leaving myself out. Anyways, random shit happens. I've heard of crazy stories. I had crazy stories happen to me. I think the entire year that I ended up in Italy was just because I put up my vision board. I feel like a huge part of the reason I ended up getting my director position very young was because it was something like a vision board moment. I knew what I wanted. So anyways, I've been able to accomplish quite a bit in my few years as a young professional, and I want to be super aligned and make sure that I check off practically everything on my vision board and on my goal list this year. So I just want to dive in, kind of help you guys with some pointers that's going to help. So a few things that I've done in the past is simply creating a theme. Number one, let me help you out. Number one, creating a theme. When you're creating your vision board, when you're creating your goal list, I like to stick with one theme, or at least one theme. A lot of creators are doing it one theme for each quarter. They're not calling it themes, they're calling it whatever they're calling it. But personally for me, when I create my vision board, I try to stick with a theme each year. So obviously, I know I talk about it a lot, but the year I went to Italy, my entire vision board was very European-esque and primarily Italian. The year that I started my career, it was very career and finance oriented. And the year that we bought our home, it was very finance and home oriented, which is kind of crazy to think about because that's literally been the theme of each year. Like everything that I'm going to put on these vision boards ends up being the theme of that year. And I'm a firm believer that if you go after stuff and if you try to live a more passionate life, then each year is going to have a different story. So this year, I definitely stuck to business goals. I have sprinkled in business goals throughout previous vision boards in the past and previous year goals, but none of it ever really came to fruition in a big impactful way because I was more focused on other goals, which obviously totally fun at the time, but because these things are ones that have sat there and I haven't really focused on, but they're become more and more important to me each year, this is the time I really want to focus on them now. So one of my goals this year are business oriented, and yours obviously can be whatever they are, but try to keep them with a theme. That would be my number one tip. Keep them with a theme. Second thing is, what I like to do is obviously also sprinkle in affirmations throughout the vision board. I can't remember her name at the moment, but there is one creator who has a great system for how to accomplish not only just like having moments manifest within your life, like going to Cabo or something fun, but actually accomplishing real goals. And her method is to write out all of her goals on the left-hand side of a poster board. I did this and I actually used the left side of my vision board. And then when you accomplish those goals, you just simply move them over to the right side. And when you write them out, you want to say, I feel so excited that I was able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. I am so happy, for example, that I was able to afford and hire a cleaner, because that's one of my goals this year. One of my small goals, but definitely a big one. I think that will help with the business, because then I'll have more time to focus on the business. You would not believe how much time I spend cleaning, just because I'm the one that works from home in the household. So, which I'm happy to take on, but it does take up a lot of my day on occasion. My third tip, and I think this one's going to be one of the most important, is that something that really holds us back from our biggest goals, and for myself, probably why I've sidetracked. I've put my business goals to the wayside was because of this one thing, and that's perfectionism. A lot of us struggle with perfectionism. I'm sure like 80-90% of us do. I definitely do. I know a lot of people do, and it holds us back. So if you have something that you're really going for this year, whether it be a creative pursuit, you want to start your own clothing line, you want to start selling your art, whatever it is, don't let perfectionism stand in the way, because one thing I know for sure is that the more you work at something, the better you become at it. And there's going to be a million quotes on Pinterest that say that. You become a master of your craft by practicing it, and there's no way around that. There's the 70-20-10 rule, which states 70% of your work is going to be mediocre, 20% of your work is going to suck, and 10% of your work is going to be amazing. But you cannot get to that 10% before the 70 and the 20. You have to do the 70 and the 20% first. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're going throughout the year. Just make sure you're applying yourself, actually doing the work. It's okay to suck at first, because you're going to get better. And as you get better, you're also going to get faster at whatever it is you're doing. And it's going to come a lot easier, and that's going to feel a lot like alignment. And that's going to put you in the flow state, and that's when things are really going to happen for you. So please don't let perfectionism control your life. Don't let this be another year where you look back and you're like, wow, I could have done so much and I just didn't. And then you're having to put the same goals on your next vision board. Another thing I will say is that every morning you should be looking at your vision board. You should be looking at those goals that you wrote down on the left-hand side, and you should be saying them out loud to yourself. And you should have a positive mindset while you do so, so that when you enter the day, kind of have an idea of, okay, what can I actually accomplish today? I know for me, a lot of my goals up there are content creation. I do work in marketing, but I've never done content creation for myself, so that's a huge goal for me this year. I think it's going to help elevate my career, elevate my business, and kind of hopefully build some sort of personal brand for myself. And I know for me, reading my goals every day for the past week has been phenomenal, because every day I wake up and it says post to LinkedIn. That's actually one of my goals, post to LinkedIn every single day. So what have I been doing? I've been posting to LinkedIn, so that's one to-do list on my list that I'm able to review in the morning and then get done. And that's just one example. Another one of my goals is to grow my YouTube. I'm just starting this year, but I want to grow it, get better at it, get better at video, and get better at editing. So, and hold myself accountable. I want to be able to post at least one video every week, hopefully 2. I know that's a lot, and editing does take a lot of time, but what did I just say? Perfectionism will only hold you back, and mastery only comes from practice. So that is my goal this year, is mastery and applying myself. So something I've realized over the past several years is something really, really incredible happens when you actually learn to apply yourself. It's so true that the 99% do not apply themselves. What happens is when you actually do apply yourself, you're part of the margin, and amazing things start to happen in your life. I know I wouldn't have gotten my director position if I had never applied myself. I wouldn't have started my first business. I wouldn't be doing the business that I am now if I didn't apply myself, and I'm super grateful for where I'm at, but I definitely attribute it to actually applying myself and trying. So social media, putting myself out there is something I've always been a little hesitant about, not because I'm scared of it or anything, just because I do have a lot of perfectionism in me, and I think it's easier to apply myself on the back end, show my expertise through my website and through reaching out to companies and whatnot. But I think putting myself out there is going to help me master social media even more so I'm really excited to find out what I'm going to learn this year and be able to apply it throughout the year. So, well, throughout all of the content that I ever create in the future. Another thing that, for example, is on my vision board, because I'm doing content this year, I'm also hoping to get into UGC content, and something on my board is get a handful of UGC contracts every single month. So when I read that in the morning, I'm able to look at that and go, okay, I need to do either some outreach, or I need to film something else for my portfolio, or I need to do a voiceover. And that kind of helps me stay on track and think about what's actually to come throughout the day. And I do have a lot more examples, but it is obviously personal to me, so it's going to be personal to you. Something you will learn over the course of time that you actually do decide to apply yourself and kind of get out of the norm of just going to that job that you maybe don't like, or not going to the gym when you know you should, and just staying in your comfort zone. When you finally do get out of that comfort zone, it is kind of crazy what happens. Truly it is, and I've experienced it time and time again. And then I think it's okay. If you read like The Tortoise and the Hare, I'm the hare. 100%. I think that's totally fine. I think it varies from person to person. I do want to kind of start treating life more like the tortoise this year and being really consistent in my efforts. But being the hare has also gotten me really really far in life. It's better than sitting on the sidelines. So while I try to become the tortoise, whether you're becoming the tortoise or you're becoming the hare or wherever you are at, once you enter the race, it's so much fun and it's so exciting and amazing to see what's going to happen. So I'm so excited for you guys all to get on your A game this year. And I'm just saying, you don't have to be super consistent at all times, but if you're in a period of your life where you're ready to go, you can go get it. There have been several creators that I've seen recently who've shared their story, or I've been following for several years, kind of just blow up recently or out of complete nowhere. And I truly attest that to applying themselves. I think some of them were probably more like the tortoise than I am, so I'm hoping to maybe get a little piece of that tortoiseness in me too. But I think her name is Tammy Quar. I don't know if that's her name, but if I'll try to tag. She just started creating content this time last year in January. I think the months leading up was not making money at all, and just finished college or something like that. And then January hit. By the end of January, like, stuff started to happen. I think she just recently made a video about it, and it was so amazing to see because I've been following her for months and months and months, and I didn't realize that all this stuff was just happening just now, that she wasn't a content creator for years. And another person that I really love, she's not necessarily just a content creator, she has her own thing outside of content creation, but she does do some content creation. She is the person who made this method of the left hand, right hand goals, and she says that completely changed her life doing it this way the first year that she did it this way. So I'm hoping to have some of that same effect on my life, and hopefully it will rub off. So I hope you guys do it too, and I cannot wait to see where everybody ends up. So this probably isn't going to be a very long video. I would like to get your guys' thoughts if anyone views this, when someone views this. Do you guys prefer short content, long content? I am kind of hoping to get my videos around 10 to 20 minutes at the moment, but not sure. Just as I'm testing stuff, I think as you begin, you definitely need to test out what works for your algorithm, what works for your audience. I know when I watch videos, I do tend to like longer content